My mornings are my sanctuary, a time to ground myself before the world demands my attention. And to me, there's peace in the ritual, finding a rhythm that sets the tone for my day. And these small intentional actions might seem insignificant, but they're everything to me. They give me clarity, focus, and a small sense of control within the chaos of the world. And it's not about perfection, it's more so about presence. These moments remind me to slow down, to breathe, and to align with what truly matters to me in my life. And I truly believe that how you start your day is ultimately how you live your life. Today we're doing a calisthenic push workout. Now, push movements to me are very foundational, just like pulling. And it's not just about building strength, but more so creating balance and control. Every rep teaches me to master my body and to find power in the simplicity of a movement. And honestly, it's not about chasing numbers. It's more so about refining the basics and letting the process shape me. Now, this workout to me isn't just about the physical. It's a reminder that consistency and effort always pays off. And with each set, I'm not just building muscle, but I'm building discipline. I'm building confidence, and I'm building a mindset that pushes through any resistance, both in and out of the gym. And yes, I do enjoy the odd advanced movement, but at the end of the day, the basics will always need mastering. And that's what I love.
The main reason why a lot of people aren't where they want to be in the digital space is because they're waiting for the perfect time. They're waiting for the perfect time to write, to email, to message, to document, to edit, right? But the truth is, that perfect time doesn't exist. Now, how many times have you talked yourself out of doing something because you felt like the timing wasn't right? How many times have you talked yourself out of making a start, whether it's a YouTube channel or a certain video topic or sending a newsletter? How many times have you talked yourself out of it because things weren't right or things weren't aligned or the timing wasn't right? But newsflash, it doesn't exist. The perfect time doesn't exist. It's funny, by waiting for the perfect time to do something, you actually miss out on the perfect time. And that perfect time is just doing it there and then. Create it, write it, just do it, right? I know that because I did that for years. Spoke myself out of doing something, or, I get it. It's so easy to consume content that's perfect, cinematic. People have the right angles, the right lighting, the right gear. And we say to ourselves, we'll do it when. We'll do it when we get that tripod, or when we get that lens, when we get that camera, when we get that microphone, right? We talk ourselves out of doing things because they're not, the ideal circumstances are not perfect. But guess what? Perfectionism is a scam. Perfectionism is actually a trap. In fact, perfectionism isn't about having high standards. It's actually just fear in disguise, right? It's fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough, right? We tell ourselves we need things to be perfect, but it's just fear of not being good enough. It's fear of what will that person say. But the truth is, they're gonna say it anyway. And two, people are too busy doing their own thing. People are too busy consuming the next piece of content to overanalyze what you might want to be perfect, right? And here's another truth bomb. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about it. Confidence comes from doing, right? It comes from the act itself. It comes from trying and trying and trying and trying and doing it. That's where the confidence in the digital space comes. It comes from showing up. It comes from producing. It comes from the consistency of just all of it, right? When we create, that creates momentum, right? And just like a snowball, that momentum gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? At the end of the day, look, progress makes us happy, right? And we tend to do more of the things that make us happy. So, on the other side of creating and trying, on the other side of your fear, is the happiness that you're looking for, right? Is that basically, it's funny, basically we tend to overthink everything because we're comparing our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 35, right? They have 6,000 likes and they're only getting 6. They're getting a million views, they have X amount of subscribers and we don't, right? So why even bother trying? Well, I'll try when I get that camera. I'll try when I get that tripod. I'll try when I get that microphone. But in reality, man, we just gotta stop, right? Because your biggest creator, the biggest creator that you like, they probably cringed at their own work at some point. In fact, they probably still do. But they put it out there anyway because they know this one secret, and that secret is to just keep showing up, and things will get better in time. Your first post, it's not going to be perfect. Your first podcast, it's not going to be amazing. You're going to have technical difficulties. You might have audio difficulties, whatever it may be, right? Growth isn't about it being perfect right away, right? If everybody's piece of content was perfect right away, there would be no growth because it was perfect right off the bat, right? But it's not the case. I'm sure the biggest creator in the world, Mr. Beast, has 100 million plus subscribers on his YouTube channel. If you go back and look at his very first videos, and now if you look at what he just put out, which was his the new Beast show, Beast City show, look at the production. Right, he started off with one camera, and he broke a record. The episodes have 1,000 plus cameras. They actually showed the number, right? That came with time, right? He didn't just start off with 1,000 cameras on his very first subscriber. He has 150 million subs now, right? Like, that's insane. So think about it. Growth isn't about it being perfect the first time. It's about showing up consistently and learning as you go along, right? And here's another thing too. Consistency will always beat perfection, right? Every single time. The more you post, the more you show up, the more you create, the better you will get, right? And we're living in the digital renaissance, right? We're living in the digital renaissance. And the digital world, it rewards those who create. It doesn't reward those who consume, right? Those who consume are just getting gratification, but those who are creating, they're the ones that are building. They're the ones that are building something. They're building a life in the digital space, right? And here's another thing. Are people going to judge? Sorry, mom's getting tired walking with holding just with my right hand. Here's the thing. Are people going to judge you? Sure, of course. If your work isn't good, people are going to judge you. If your work is good, people are going to judge you. People are always going to judge you no matter what, right? And the harshest critics are usually the ones that aren't even creating anything themselves, right? And honestly, people, like I said, people are so busy scrolling to overanalyze the tiny mistakes that you may be seeing in your own work, right? By the time you've gotten over being critical, they've already consumed 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe other pieces of content, right? So just do it. Just start. That's my main message with this, because I can keep going around this track and keep going over the same message. But the thing is just start. Just start. Write that blog. Plan out and script that video. Pull out your camera and record that video. Post it too. Don't just do what I used to do, which was create, and bank all this content and not put it out for the world to see. Because I guarantee you, every single person, whether this video gets 1,000 views or whether this video gets 5 views, every single person who views this video has something to offer the world. You guys have something that somebody else wants to see or wants to learn from, right? And the reason why it's the perfect time to start is because sorry. The reason why, in my opinion, it's the best time to create in the history of creating. It's the best time to start because you have access to all the tools. You have a phone that produces 4K with a great camera and with a great microphone. You have all the tools. You have all the platforms at your disposal in your pocket. You have an abundance of people consuming content, right? Think about it. If every single person is consuming, that means that there has to be an abundance of people creating. So why aren't you, right? Whether you like knitting, whether you like making music, whether you like shooting videos, whether you like reviewing shoes, whatever it may be, you could be in construction, you could be in hardware, you could be a shopper, you could actually, let me tell you guys a quick story. So there was this guy, he was a teacher. And this story always hits, I don't know, it hits a soft spot for me. There was a guy, he was a teacher, and he was passionate about bees. And he used to write blogs about bees. He used to educate people on the importance of honey and so on and so forth about bees. And as a result, he started taking pictures of bees and he started making a YouTube channel. And he was, I don't know, I guess he was telling people things that they had no idea, like me. Like I had no idea about how important bees were to the ecosystem and to us as human beings and Earth. Anywho, his YouTube channel starts gaining an insane amount of momentum, gets millions of subscribers, and he goes on to work for Natural Geographic, and he is considered one of the number one bee guys in the world, right? And obviously he's not a teacher anymore, but just from creating content about what he was passionate about while he was teaching, he was able to create his dream life just from creating content. And that's just one tiny, minuscule example in the grand scheme of things. There are literally millions of people who are creating a life doing what they enjoy by teaching other people, by creating content, having fun, and making money in the process, right? So if that doesn't inspire you, man, I don't know what will. But like I said, now is the best time because you have access to all the tools, you have, all the platforms, and it's very easy to build an audience, right? All from your pocket, all from that cell phone that is you're watching this on probably, that sits in your pocket all day long. And if you're sitting there consuming, why not create, right? Think of it like planting a seed, right? A lot of people want the fruit, not realizing that the tree needs to grow, the plant needs to grow, and the plant's not going to grow unless you cultivate and water it and take care of it. But you can't even take care of something that you haven't even planted. You got to plant that seed first, right? Plant that seed, and with time and consistency, it can grow into something big. And just to give you guys something, an easy, actionable item, is start with something small, right? Don't worry about the 10th video. Don't worry about the 50th video. Don't worry about the 100th subscriber. Start with the number 1. Focus on one piece of content. Figure out one thing. If there's something I want you guys to do is, after this video, get a pen and paper, open out your notes tab, think of one topic, one video, and just focus on the one. Don't worry about 50, don't worry about 100, all right? Because remember, done just got cut off, so I'm gonna finish it up there. Listen, done will always be better than perfect. Get moving, get creating. We're living in the real life digital renaissance, and the digital space is gonna be rewarding those who create, all right? Until the next one, I hope this video helped you guys. Till the next one, peace.